various road types in Uganda. The main objective of the study is to establish an indicative unit cost framework for the construction of national, urban and district roads and bridges across Uganda's regions. This framework will be essential in informing the costing of road and bridge infrastructure projects in Uganda to achieve value for money derived from public infrastructure projects. Achievement 7 is support to the rollout of EGP, which Honorable Moses is always concerned about. Mr. Chair, the authority, together with the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Ministry of ICT and NITA-U, are in collaboration to roll out and implement EGP. The authority's role in this regard is mainly on change management. The effective implementation of EGP will lead to enhanced transparency, efficiency and effectiveness in public procurement and ultimately reduce corruption. Mr. Chairman, I now come to the summary of the Ministerial Policy Statement for Vote 153, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority for financial year 2026-2027. This highlights the half-year performance for financial year 2025-2026, planned outputs for financial year 26-27, and the budget allocation for 2026-27, cash flow projections, vote procurement plan, recruitment plan, vehicle utilization report, and the assets register. Mr. Chairman, the total MTF for PPDA for financial year 2026-27 is at 3.393 billion and is broken down as follows: wage, non-wage, and capital development, wage 16.586 billion, non-wage 15.512 billion, and capital 1.29 billion. Mr. Chair, I now wish to invite the ED to take us through the detailed presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, Honorable Chair, and members of the committee. I have a summary presentation in this sort of document, PowerPoint. I was expecting some screen, but all the same, we have printed enough copies.
The head point.
Okay, thank you, Chair. So,
Honorable Chair, I don't have a copy.
Kim, please.
Honorable, yes, the clerk is coming to you.
So the presentation to the Committee of Finance, Planning and Economic Development on the Ministerial Policy Statement. If you go to slide number 3, this Ministerial Policy Statement contains the following details: the vote half-year performance for 2025-26.
Maybe even your retooling needs to be handled because the ink is faint, but the font is small. But you can go to slide 6 and we go straight to the issues.
Okay, thank you for guidance, Honorable. Next time we'll do better. Slide 6 is alignment of NDP 4 with our strategic objectives.
You know, that's what...
Chair, we fall 8.
I think you go to 8, yeah, because...
Got the money?
Your 6 looks like 8, so I...
Okay, sorry. The financial performance for 24-25, that's the as we were guided, the communication, we had only 20.4 billion. If we go to the next slide, the performance is indicated on the next slide. The bar charts show the outcomes of our function in the procurement system per indicator, like performance contracts completed in time, performance contracts completed within cost, and the rest. If we go to the half-year performance, on page 7, Honorable Chair, we have received our budget for this current financial is 29.8 billion. This is on page 7. And so far, by December, we had received 14.6 billion, and we have spent 85% of that money received. Where we performed not up to 100% was on development, because the money that was released was not adequate to pay the outstanding contracts. In terms of performance, the half-year performance, again, the Honorable Minister has actually gone through most of these, but in detail, we have registered the women, youth, and persons with disabilities with the special interest group database. We have currently 239 business enterprises registered by December 2025. And this is in line with what the Honorable Minister has said, support the special interest groups. Next slide, on page 8, the list of 17 standard bidding documents indicated in that slide on top. These guide government agencies in terms of bidding. They can only customize areas of evaluation, areas of the special contract conditions, and areas which need to be defined, and find also instructions to bidders. So these have been revised because of the amendment of 2021. Procurement audits, we have conducted procurement audits and focusing now value for money parameters. On page 9, Honorable Chair and members, Honorable Minister has talked about the study and this on unit cost framework for roads and bridges. Consultative meetings were held among the Minister of Works and other players, including Association of Contractors and Engineers, and this will help to guide the standard unit price for roads and bridges. Our role now in this coming financial year is to disseminate this, popularize it, and also train the users, but also as PPDA monitor compliance that this is working. We have also, in terms of study, we are also coming up with common user prices. The common used goods by government have also standard or guided price when they are going to find someone is buying a computer at 15 million, the same computer at 10 million. We started with specifications. Now this year we are completing by end of this financial year this common user price list, which we are going to issue to all government entities. We also done a study on procurement integrity survey. This is serialized. This is the 5th study, and we are going also to show the public the perception of the public citizens in terms of corruption in public procurement. This is also coming out by June. We have done a number of capacity building activities, and the numbers are increasing every day. In terms of sustainable public procurement, this has been incorporated. It has been incorporated in our work programs, in standard bidding documents, in our monitoring tools, and the capacity building tools. And here we are focusing environment, health, social safeguards to be incorporated as part of the procurement contracts. Honorable Minister has talked about EGP. Yes, we are part of the team that is focusing EGP, but our major role is train the users to change management, generally mindset change, so those who are going to apply to use it, but also monitor compliance. Minister talked about the grain and grain products. Yeah, we are focused on that, and we have promised the money actually to disseminate this coming financial year, so that our children, especially who are in schools, and those prisoners and the army and the police, must consume maize flour, for example, and beans from certified suppliers, certified providers by NBS. We worked with Grain Council, Minister of Trade, Uganda Warehousing Receipt Authority, and Minister of Finance, generally as our parent ministry, to ensure that this condition is put as part of the procurement requirements, and then our role is to monitor that it is complied with, so that we fight aflatoxins and also promote trade, cross-border trade of our maize and maize products. The few challenges is that the release of capital development has not been consistent. As you are aware, Honorable Chairman, usually first quarter there is no release. They gave us some little money in the second quarter. Third quarter there was no release. So even the commitments, the capital commitments that we had couldn't be completed. And we are anticipating maybe we'll get some money during the last quarter. Inadequate staffing, the approved structure is at 171 staff. At 286 staff. But currently we are filled up to 171. So we are missing 115 staff, and this is if we are to really monitor contracts, then we need to have adequate staff. We are planning to expand to different regions. Currently we are in 4 regions, but the board approved expanding to 8 regions. We can only afford to open 1 office in Hoima next financial year. That goes again with the fleet. The vehicles we have, some of them as old as 2001. Vote provision, Honorable Chair and members, on page 10 has increased slightly from this current financial year, from 29.8 to 33.3, and we appreciate Minister of Finance for that. Overview of this provision, that slide on page 11 on top is specifically breaking it in terms of wage, non-wage, and capital development. Capital development has not changed, but we'll manage within it, especially in terms of IT tools and some few vehicles that we are going to buy. Chair, those are priority areas on page 12 as broken down in terms of governance and security. Here we are going to focus performance monitoring. In terms of private sector development, the focus is on local content. In terms of development plan implementation, the focus is on, again, on high value performance monitoring and training on complex procurement and contract management by entities. Honorable Chair, I take it back to my Honorable Minister to finalize our submission.
Thank you very much, AD, for the detailed summary. Mr. Chair, at this point, I would like to conclude as follows. One, to appreciate you and the committee for the support you have given to PPDA over the years. And number two, to request you to approve the budget for PPDA as has been of 33.393 billion as has been presented. And also to ask you to take note of the challenges PPDA as a vote continues to experience. And lastly, I wish to formally hand over to the committee the Ministerial Policy Statement for vote 153, Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Authority for financial year 2026-2027. I beg to lay, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister, and your team led by the ED from PPDA. I'd like to appreciate your clear and concise presentation. Of course, I know there are issues. This time I want to start with myself. Bwana ED, I can see you are touching areas that are very critical to the masses and even us as the representatives of the people. When you talk about giving a guideline of the prices in road maintenance and these ones particularly in our areas, in the districts, in our rural areas, these ones are long overdue. Would like you to come out clearly on the timelines when we can have this, because it will go a long way to help us. And secondly, you talk about the grain and standards. I was wondering, do you relate in your work in this area, do you relate closely with NBS? I would like to hear that detail, because our farmers, our producers have failed to export, and yet Uganda is a food basket because of the aflatoxins that you're talking about, because of lack of standards and certification. So we think this is an area you're going to help us handle effectively. You talk about the EGP, and you said, and indeed I want to agree, my deputy is so passionate about it like I am, the electronic government procurement. The other time, the Honorable Minister, we talked, you assured us, you confirmed to us that 36 entities so far are the ones which are onboarded with EGP. And it is in your ministry. And it has been over time. When you use the word roll out, I get a metaphor of rolling out a carpet. What is difficult with rolling this for all this time? And yet we know the importance or the bearing it has on effectiveness in terms of time we take in procurement, in terms of reduced intervention that creates corruption and all that. I'm opening up, colleagues. Yes, I start from this side. Yeah, Honorable Call.
Honorable Chair, I would want some clarification, especially on page 4. The report says the physical performance 2024-2025. And I'm wondering whether that is the period that they're looking at in this report or it's an oversight. But also on that same table, I am concerned. I have been in this committee for a long time, since 2016. I'm wondering how all the budget is released. Most of the time when we are talking to entities, I mean, it is budgeted and some of the money is not released. Why is this case budgeted, released 100% all, and all money spent? Also, all the money released is spent. When I'm comparing with the physical performance output indicators, there are some activities which were not done. So how can all the money released be spent all when some activities are not done? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Just for alignment for the committee, our colleague, just the 2024-25 is a requirement for last year. And that's why the 100% is for the other year. Yes. And now the physical performance you're looking at is half year, which is not yet completed. I just wanted to, you know, when we go in this campaign, sometimes we can negate some of these issues. So I would like to reiterate, colleagues, that we are having constraint in time, so we'd like to go straight to the issues. Honorable Choma.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to thank the Minister and PPDA team for the presentation, and actually to thank them for the work they are doing. Just in the interest of time, page 18, no, page 9, slide 18, about the support to the rollout of EGP. Yes, I thank you because you are recognizing some gaps, but some of these gaps seem to be glaring. I see it on Park Central. And what we have been capturing from the users of the system, the MDS, and the auditors, is that actually the interface with this, with the whole system, is still complex, to the extent that the accounting officer will not be knowing the amount is due to him when raising invoices. He will keep using the trial and error. Let me send this. If it bounces, then I will know I don't have money until actually it gets through to realize that he has money. And that once actually you are not seeing what is on the system. Honorable Mudemi is here, and to us as an accountability committee, it has been a big challenge. Then to the auditors, the oversight, they also can't see what they are auditing, and it becomes somehow of a problem actually to catch it short. Some accounting officers were proposing that they should do away with the system. Yet some of us believe that actually the system promotes transparency. So we are lucky that you are here. How are you prepared to go about this? Then they roll out to 100 entities in July 2026. Honorable Minister, with these gaps notwithstanding, when are we rolling over to all the entities? Otherwise, I thank you. But lastly, this is to the ED and the team. You had started a very good real system. Was it called Baraza or what?
Yo, Campa! Gala. This March 29th, Bavis Vibes brings you Access live at the Villa Bukoto. A night full of fresh fashion from Uganda's rising designers, crazy live instrumentals, and the first performances from 3 new underground artists ready to take over the game. DJs and MCs from your favorite scenes will keep the vibes going all night. Wanna be there? Just download the Afro mobile app and get your access. Powered by NBS Plus. Access, where the next wave of talent begins.
these entities, the statistics which Honorable Minister said they have failed to walk through the process. No entity in the government has gone through from initiating procurement up the end through EGP. I've seen most of these audit reports. And the reason they are giving that, one, the system, what do we call those who gave out the system, who developed the system, the developer. And these are Ugandans, they have not given full rights to the users. That's the reason. It's in the audit reports. Now, secondly, even the users are saying the process, there are gaps. So you start a procurement, you reach somewhere like Honorable Choma said, you fail down, they ask for a waiver, then they go the other system. Actually, even the entities were recommending that they should do away with, if they want the government to maintain this EGP system, they have to get a new system. It is in the audit reports, Honorable Minister. But this one, they say totally it has failed. So what's the take? And I saw the other day I asked you a question, why government is investing money into a system which is not working. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Chair. I want to join the colleagues in appreciating PPDA for the report and also the Minister for the presentation of the Ministerial Policy Statement for this particular report. But also for the work well done. We've seen the progress PPDA has made over the years, and we really appreciate. And when you look also at outcome indicators, you clearly see that we are faced in the right direction despite the challenges. But turning to the presentation, particularly picking from the Minister's brief, and this reservation scheme is a welcome development, and we really want to commend PPDA. But I think we really need to do a lot of awareness creation among the population, such that the intended objective can be realized, such that our youth, our women, and people with disability can be able to benefit as government wishes. Now, a number of members have really pointed out the issue of these grain products. When you look at the way it is presented, it is clearly a mandate of Uganda National Bureau of Standards. But from the explanation the ED gave, now you clearly see that it's procurement guidelines, to guide the procurement of grains, but not like the way it is stated in both documents. And I think that is an alignment that is needed. And given when you look at the budget, I think it is important that we commend the Ministry of Finance this time round on the governance aspects. When you look at the growth on PPDA budget, that is a bit aligned with the increase in the budget of the country, which is well in order. Because for the last 3 years, we saw it at 20-point-something billions. It grew to this financial year, 29 billions. Next financial year, 33 billions. How I wish this would be the kind of way we would be handling issues, particularly with those that are looking at following government resources. Now that a number of entities are coming on board, PDM and all these others, new local governments and other entities that are coming on board, particularly with the Office of the Auditor General, where we want to ensure that every money that is given to any entity actually gives the value to Ugandans. I thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Jane.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I want to...
Now, honorable colleagues, as of necessity, when Jane finishes, until we conclude.
Thank you, Chair. Again, allow me to join members to commend PPDA for the good work. And when I say the good work, I want to point out to the standards that you have come up with, because this will help the entities to be more compliant than they perhaps have been before. I also want to thank thank you for the studies that you are doing. Like the chair already mentioned, some of them indeed are overdue. For instance, the common user prices. Chair, this is again a big issue because we have been, as a committee, complaining why an entity A charges a unit price for a pen different from B and C. And this is very common. One time, Office of the Prime Minister organized a baraza in my district. I was surprised. I asked them what is the difference, is it soil texture or what? One sub-county, they were building a one-stance latrine at 15 million, another one was building at 8 million. So I think, but we look forward to these studies coming out to support the procurement process. Now, I need clarification on page 8, accreditations granted. 4 accreditations were granted for the use of alternative procurement methods. CEO, if you could give more flesh on that. And then, Chair, members, I want to thank Honorable Kefa. He really pulled out the key things that we want to see coming out amidst all these other improvements you are trying to make in your institution. What should be the end result then? Thank you, Dr. Kefa, for that. But all these members have paid a deaf ear up to now, and I come on the issues, the challenges of PPDA, and I'm wondering how they expect to do better. Mr. Minister, if I had well, which I hope he did here also, they are talking of their fleet as old as 2001. If even you and I have to wear one pair of shoes for 20 years plus, it will wear out. That one is a different story for another day. Sorry, Chair. So really, I think much as you requested the committee to support PDA, and we approved the budget of 33.393 billion. Mr. Minister, I think between now up to the time that you come with the final estimates, you can do something at least to improve on the fleet.
Thank you.
And then finally, Chair, same with staffing. I think it was said here yesterday in this very committee that 60 to about 70% of the total government budget goes into procurement. And these are people who are supposed to look at compliance, to improve the processes so that corruption is curbed. But now, if you are not empowering them with the manpower, what can they do to make things better? I really want to request the minister to make some little further allocation for especially fleet and staffing, and also to release the money for the vehicles fully.
Thank you, Honorable. Thank you. Members, it is 20 minutes to midday.
Thank you, Chair. I will be quite brief, but allow me thank PPDA for the great work, especially given that I think it's PPDA and by then Uganda Road Fund that followed the guidance of government to reduce rent costs when they came together and built one structure, which I believe has saved government a lot of money in rent. But now coming to this, Honorable Chair, I am happy that PPDA is coming up with this study on the costs of roads. My only concern is whether you look at the specifics of certain regions. The region I come from is Bugisu, with the very thick volcanic soils with no rock holding underneath. And constructing a road in some of those areas takes much more. That's why at one time we were pushing that the 1 billion is smaller for Bugisu. Because constructing a road in Bugisu will take more resources than constructing a road in the lowlands. So I hope that the study will look at all those different parameters to be able to give the right costs. But having said that, I am happy because the original guidelines that came from Ministry of Works were alarming. Government gave us $1 billion and it was allocated to 16 kilometers, and we said, no, this cannot be. So we had to do adjustments, but of course which are not guided by scientific guidance. The issue of considering these special interest groups, I want to thank you, Honorable Minister, and the PPDA, because these had been left out largely in the procurement processes. And this is very good for now. My only plea, my colleague suggested the barazas, but this information has to be disseminated to the lowest level possible. Finally, Honorable Minister, there is a concern with within the engineering world, and their concern is that the definition of a local company was amended and includes even companies owned by foreigners but registered here for a very short period of time. And that, in a way, is disadvantaging the local companies. So when we talk of local content, they are losing out to those with bigger muscles and who have registered here, but largely owned by foreign entities. So it's an issue that requires a policy review, and that's why I had to highlight it. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Honorable Patrick.
Thank you, Chair. I want to appreciate PPDA and the Minister for a very good submission. And secondly, I appreciate the ED for the many innovations within the authority. One such key innovation in the last 6 years has been the development and the expeditious implementation of the e-procurement. This, I think, the Honourable Minister knows very well where the idea started from, where it was powered from, the e-procurement. And aware that there is a planned rollout of the same, I want to know from the ED the extent of implementation so far across all government entities, including the private sector. At what percentage are we? Thank you.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. Honorable Minister, in the interest of time, I would like you to respond. I would like you to respond to the critical issues, especially colleagues have put forth. Just a minute. I thought he had given up on the EGP thing, but I think he's back.
You can make an appointment and discuss EGP. Okay, just a very quick one. I will leave everything else out. Actually, it's on EGP. Sometime back in 2021, on the 1st July 2021, that's when you launched this EGP. And that time, there were, I think, 12 or 16 MDAs that were piloted with. And quickly, it turned out 36. 5 years down the road, there are still 36. The other day, when you were making a presentation here, you gave a reason. That's because the system that was developed had glitches. And I believe the glitches must have been maybe 1 year after 2021, maybe 2022. Why has it taken 4 years for these glitches to be corrected? And the money, and you know,
why World Bank supported this is because they carried out a study which it released in 2005, saying that it is estimated $300 million was lost every year. And in the next 10 years, this figure was supposed to increase. That is from around 2015. And in 2014, you launched e-procurement strategic plan, 2014 to 2019. And that in that plan, you expected to achieve 100% rollout. I know, I just want to tell you that so that you don't use COVID. COVID came in 2020. This plan was supposed to end in 2019. And by that time, you had expected that if this thing is rolled out, to do that. But this was a project of $8.5 million US. And I believe this was money which was borrowed by the government of Uganda. Should we say all this money has gone to the drain? During the presentation, PPDA said that they are carrying out monitoring of regulation monitoring, strictly. Regulation monitoring, and the other one is change management. You can see how peripheral the role of the regulator is. Really, how do you monitor a system that you have not participated effectively in developing? How do you monitor? It's like calling me to come and monitor FMS if I'm so green about it. How will I be able to know that it's doing that? So that leaves so many unanswered questions. But what I also wanted to ask PPDA, I didn't see in your presentation anything to do with the unfunded priorities, if there were any. But it seems in your the other bigger documents, they were there. What was your motivation of skipping them? Thank you.
Thank you, honorable colleagues. I think, Honorable Minister, the reason why these issues are reiterated and said over and over again is because of the interest we have to make sure we see PPDA enhanced and increase its intervention in the procurement process, and therefore being able to save a lot of the resources and time that we lose along the way. So over to you, Honorable Minister. And I would like to guide that in the interest of time, you respond to the critical issues, and then we expect the ED to reply all those questions. And I saw him writing passionately to respond in writing and to details.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I want to begin with the last one from the Honorable Vice. Why is he not seeing the unfunded priorities in the presentation? Mr. Chairman, the new guidance from His Excellency the President is that the Minister should not go to Parliament to ask for more money. The Minister should come to Parliament to ask Parliament to approve and appropriate what the Executive has proposed. And this is the reason why you are not seeing me here presenting the list of unfunded priorities.
Chair. Information, Chair.
Yes, information.
The other MDS you have been bringing here have been giving us the unfunded priorities. This is just to bring to the know the status.
Mr. Chairman, I have been here for the last 3 days. I have not presented unfunded priorities. I have been consistent.
Maybe the point you would have insisted on is that the soft copies we received, those were there. So you reviewed and amended and removed them, as simple as that.
As simple as
yes,
that. So that means I have not presented.
So let's proceed.
So my focus is on
what you
on asking Parliament to approve what Executive has recommended. Mr. Chair, in summary, what is the role of PPDA? PPDA is supposed to ensure that there is value for money in procurement. We achieve value for money by ensuring that the process does not take a lot of time. Efficiency. We achieve value for money by ensuring that public works are undertaken at the cheapest cost possible. Mr. Chair, what have we done? In my presentation, I said PPDA has registered significant progress in a number of areas, ensuring that procurement is inclusive by bringing in the young people, by bringing in the women, and by bringing in the people with disabilities, especially on small contracts in the districts. What we want to do going forward is to ensure that there is awareness creation. These things are there, but very few of our people know that they exist. They don't know that these opportunities are there. So we want to ask PPDA to strengthen sensitization so that these opportunities are well understood. Mr. Chair, when we come here and tell you that...
But Honorable Chair, actually that was exactly my question. Have you got an indication that you're achieving that? We know that's what you're trying to do, that's what you are aiming at achieving, but are you achieving it? That was my question.
I think, Mr. Chair, yes, we are achieving. If we give you our detailed, I think, Mr. Chair, we always get audiences where we have time, enough time, where we can even tell you that in Chivoga, the following company belongs to some woman who has got grow funds and is also benefiting from districts of contracts like this.
Honorable Chair, why is it then that you've not included anything about it in your presentation?
Mr. Chair, I wanted to be as brief as possible. Taking into account that Parliament doesn't have a lot, working in strict timelines.
And now, the Honourable Member and, of course, colleagues will require those details so that we're able to see that milestone achieved that you're talking about.
All right. Much obliged, Mr. Chair. Okay. Mr. Chair, another point.
Chair, I just want to inform the Honourable Minister, what you're talking about, the things of youth, promotion of local content, these are supposed to be inputs into a system. We're asking you about a system. So these narratives here, this is how you contextualize something that can be put in a system. This system is supposed to reduce the timelines. And if you're delaying it, these timelines will not be reduced. So what you're telling us is what can make us develop models that we can put into the system. So don't tell us that these things are actually...
That's why I say the Honourable Minister...
So it is good to give you that information, so that you give us that. No, we are developing these things. We are still... It is just work in progress, and maybe we shall reach there. What Honourable Kefa is saying is, what have you achieved over this? You just tell us, actually, we have launched some of these reservation schemes, but we are about to roll them out by sensitization. But don't tell us as if this is the tail end.
So I tell you what you want to hear.
No. You're supposed to tell people the right thing. Okay. You know, Honourable Minister.
It's okay, Honourable.
When you're here, you're supposed to give a very...
Much obliged, the Honourable Vice. However, I want to tell you that these timelines are not defined in the system. They are defined in the law. Why we amended the law of 2003 in 2021 was to achieve efficiency through cutting the time, reducing the time required. For instance, Benson, how many days did we give the process of when there is a complaint? We gave how many days?
Honorable Minister, 10 at accounting officer,
Yes.
10, 15 at tribunal if there is an appeal. And there were 3 tires before, now they are
Now there are 2. Are they in the system or in the road? Mr. Chair, the next. Honorable Chairperson.
Honorable Minister.
You know the advantage of being here for so long. You have institutional memory on a number of aspects.
That's why I requested.
We have grown with this process.
In order to share that institutional memory and the details, we need them written so that you communicate.
Mr. Chair, maybe what I can, but I wanted to emphasize 2 areas. On local content, the capacity of our local contractors still needs to be strengthened. One of our colleagues said they have a challenge of financing, they have a challenge of joint venturing. I've also heard that from here that some companies who are foreign register here for a short time, and they want to fit within the definition of local companies. And also, I met one of them, one of our local contractors. He was telling me that even supply stand on the road, like a road like this road of Chisubi Nakauka Piji, a contract of sand alone requires close to over 10 billion. How many of our local contractors can afford this? So these are some of the challenges which we need to address. They cannot be addressed like now here, but we need to progressively address them. Another key point, Mr. Chairman, having standard unit costs, especially for the road works and bridges, is a very good idea, which should be supported. We've been grappling in I don't know whether some of you, I think some of you are members of the National Economic Committee. Whenever we go there to ask for approval of loans, we are always asked, what is the basis? You are doing a road in let's say, like this bridge of Katonga, and you have another bridge of Seziba. You are bringing them, you are doing them at different unit costs. Yet there are bridges passing, there is a river crossing, there is a swamp. So the terrain is more or less the same, but it is bringing different unit cost. You are doing a lot in Rakai, Masakamu, Tukura. You are doing another road, Sembabule, somewhere. The costs are what? Are different. Why? We've been basing on historical costs. For instance, if you say a road in Iteso, which was done 10 years ago or 5 years ago, and you want to do another road now, you base on the costs which you used then, without asking what is the. So these are some of the things we need to address. And PPDA is making an effort. It's not doing it alone. We are there with Ministry of Works. We are there with the contractors. It's a holistic approach. And this, when it comes out, I want to ask for your support that we sustain it.
Honorable Minister,
the oversight support.
Can you please conclude with EGP?
Mr. Chairman,
I want assurance from you about
EGP. You are asking Benson too much. Benson is supposed to ensure that EGP is working. Compliance is supposed to check whether the contractors are using what? EGP. And in his promotion of effective procurement, he's supposed to also move ahead of us. Change management, which he was talking about, sensitization, or making people know how EGP is supposed to be used. But to ensure that the system is in place and effectively working, that is the role of the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. And yes, the other day when we were here, we told you the practical steps we are taking to ensure that EGP is in place. Yes, we have had challenges which the technical teams I came with presented to you, but we are improving on them. And we're optimistic that in the near future, we shall have all our votes. Actually, the plan is not 100 as one member mentioned. The plan is to have more than 300. From 36, we want to go to 300.
In what time?
It is just one action. What we are doing will result into over 300 entities enrolled on EGP. Mr. Chair, maybe, hopefully, if things remain the way they are, when I come back next time to present before this committee, maybe I will have assuming other factors constant.
Thank you.
When I come, I will have achieved the target I am looking at. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. I now, Benson, do you have key highlights?
I want to ask Benson to write to us so that by closure of business tomorrow, we have this information with our clerk, answering in detail the questions of the colleagues that have been put before you. Having said that, one burning one, it's okay.
One word, I want to appreciate the honorable members of the committee for appreciating our work and for the support that you are giving PPDA. You know, the amendment for this committee, 2021, and some of the questions that were being asked in terms of delays in implementation of some of the actions like guidelines. 2023, we came up with regulations. 2024, we came up with the guidelines, and now we are in implementation. Yes. So we have not delayed generally. But also one other point on grain. It is true we are working with Uganda National Bureau of Standards. We launched together, and they are also quickening the process of certifying these small factories like upcountry and whatever. The requirements have been worked on, but what maybe I call upon this honorable house is support the Uganda Warehouse Receipt Authority, because that authority was merged, the system, or Uganda Warehouse Receipt System, because that's where the farmers can put. They were building warehouses all over the country, but when they merged those projects in our monitoring, we have discovered they have a bit stalled.
I think they were put in Ministry of Trade. Eh? Yes. Okay.
Thank you, Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Thank you, ED and the PPDA team. Certainly, as agreed, we'll have those details. They'll help us to go through and to assure you we'll continue to support you. Having said that, Honorable Minister, please allow your ED and team, PPDA, to... You can leave. So now we invite the guys who rub shoulders with the gamblers and gamers and gamblers.
Nzadi yeru gogo nzadi yo kumi na mukaga
home here, and I have another meeting I'm rushing for in Munyonyi.
I really think the Honorable Minister has done a good job on all the questions. He has handled all of them very well. And Dr. Atib is going to handle the issue of Facebook. But currently, right now, at 11 a.m. earlier, the CIO Forum was having a meeting with the Minister of ICT discussing on the emerging technology framework with a focus on AI. Today, we were not here, but our members, Janeza, she testifies on the group. They're on Zoom already discussing right now. And Honorable Minister has mentioned it. It is focusing on emerging technologies and AI. AI is a small factor. There is quantum computing coming. You think AI is strong and it can do many things. Quantum computing is going to be a very serious problem. And it is already happening in Europe. So the Ministry of ICT, through the great wisdom they have, the best teams, I'm happy that Honorable has mentioned it, and take what he has said, that it is looking at emerging technologies, not just AI. So that is sorted. I sit on the AI task force at the Ministry of ICT. I was nominated, and it's chaired by the Minister, Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, and the ministers and all of them. I sit on it, and I want to let you know that the task force is very active. It has very technical people. It's not like any other task force that you people have been criticizing. So this AI task force that we have seen, I want to let you know that you're going to see the AI strategy, but it's not just AI. It's on emerging technologies. So solutions are coming, and they're going to be more orderly, not rushed, because we're not just looking at just AI for today. The alignment between jobs, the alignment between social media and what the trends are happening, I want to let you know that's why we are creating the CIO Forum and CXOs. The captains of industry from other sectors come and meet the chief IT officers, chief security officers, different people to see what solutions can we do. This one has developed this solution. Can you use it? We meet people in the Chikubo. We have built for you this thing. Can you use it? So, and you see, the Honorable Minister said that the challenge is now commercialization. Yes, that's the truth. But that's why we private sector should hold ourselves and say, the government has supported enough, let us use these systems ourselves. But also we are lobbying to ask that government uses these systems themselves, but we are still lobbying. So we want to let you know that the future is very bright, and it's a very great opportunity that we are young at this moment. Thank you.
And now we are moving into the concluding segment of this press briefing. And the lead person is the Executive Director of Uganda Media Center, who is going to talk about the collaboration, the initiatives he's launching. And this is an initiative between the center and NITA-U. So, ED, you're welcome. I think you can
This is meant for ordinary people, clearly. But we shall make it work. Good afternoon. My name is Alan Kasuji. I'm the Executive Director of the Media Center. I want to say good to have you, sir, the Honorable Minister, Kabyanga, and also my friends and colleagues from NITA Uganda. And today is a very, very important day for us as the Media Center, but also for the work that we plan to do. And the reason for that is it is the beginning of a collaboration. I know there have been very many collaborations between government agencies, but today is significant because we are mobilizing resources as the Media Center. I want to thank the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance for her leadership in helping us make sure that the resources within the agencies that fall under her remit are mobilized so that they can be effectively deployed. I just want to thank NITA-U for being the first agency to come and to respond to our cry. And Dr. Atib, thank you very much. We look forward to having a very effective partnership in our quest to make sure that Uganda's story is told effectively, not just to Ugandans, but to the rest of the world. Our mission is to ensure that Uganda takes its rightful place in the world. And in this effort, I want to say thank you very much to NITA-U And I encourage everybody else, every other agency in government, let's remember that we are building this nation together. We are not involved in a PR exercise, we are involved in nation building. We want to open the eyes of young people to the opportunities that exist in this country. We want them to see that their motherland will take care of them, that their future is bright if they continue to contribute to the progress of this country. The ambition of government is very clear. By 2040, this economy has to be worth $500 billion. How do we do that? By communicating, by telling Uganda's story. And therefore, NITA Uganda, Dr. Atwib, we thank you for your leadership. We thank the PS for her leadership. We thank the ministry for their leadership, because what this will mean is that we will have the tools that we need to make sure that we do our job effectively. At this juncture, sir, Mr. Minister, I'd like to invite you to help us proceed with the handover. Oh, but before that, Dr. Atwib, do you want to come up and make some comments? Do you want to take over from this, Dennis? Yeah.
Thank you, Edie. Yes, this gesture is the start of what we intend to support the center with. We had the call for support. We heeded to it, but there's much more that we can do. I believe there's much more that we can do. We are looking at devices to enable the center disseminate information, but also monitor activities, government programs, collect information, monitor, process it before it is disseminated for consumption. But we also are looking at the services, the e-services that we can deliver to the media center, the web hosting services, connectivity. Definitely that's something that we are going to also look into, and much more. We want to digitize Uganda, and this is the start with the media center. We have done this for other agencies. We have delivered 150 laptops to communication officers under the means of ICT. We have also delivered laptops to government offices, close to about 2,000, and there are more coming. There are more coming. As I stated in my opening remarks, the biggest challenge is absorption of ICT services, and one of the areas that are hindering that challenge are devices. The cost of devices, even the cost of acquiring these devices. But under the leadership of the Minister of ICT and Minister of Finance, we're discussing on ways how we can bring that cost down. For the normal person, Umutu Wawansi, how can he be able to afford a smart device? That's what we are working on, and hopefully in a few months or in a few months from now, we will have some results to that. With that, I would like to thank the ED for adopting IT as a channel in the work that they do, and I call upon other agencies, ministries, and even the general public to use IT as an enabler. It will expedite your work and enable you to perform much more exponentially. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
With those remarks from our two EDs, I will call upon the Honorable Minister to perform the handover, the symbolic handover of the equipment.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to congratulate Alan Kasuja upon this very important appointment. And I would like to inform you all journalists that at the media center, it will no longer be business as usual. We want this one to be your home, either physically or virtually. That's why we are equipping now the media center, so that it becomes the source, the main source of government information. And I strongly believe with this token of appreciation from NITA-U, the media center is going to be more sophisticated and technologically online. So we thank NITA-U for the offer, and I hope the staff here are going to utilize this the gadgets very well to the benefit of government. And just as Alan has said, we are going as much as possible to increase government visibility by giving you more information so that people can know what government is doing, and also encourage people to play their role. The Constitution is very clear. Every citizen should contribute to national development. So before you ask what government has done to you, you should also ask yourself what you have done to government. I thank you, and therefore I take this opportunity to hand over the gadgets to Uganda Media Center. The rest is yours now.
Thank you very much.
There, what opportunity is there?
Guys, can we take this thing away, please? Let's get rid of this thing. The whole table, the whole podium. Where's the rest of my team?
You have this wire.
Not the ladies. The ladies don't do that work. Let's move these things to the center. Let's move the big guys away. Organize the voting sound of this.
As you can see, these are brand new gadgets, HP laptop computers. We appreciate that, Dr. Hatwip, the support, and I think it will continue. I think we should have a group picture with the team that came here with the Honorable Minister on the platform. Thank you very much. I think that's the end of this session. Kenson, take care of your equipment.
For the transactions that go through that gaming machine, 85% is supposed to go back to the players. But these small machines are tweaked to make it the other way around. Maybe 10% goes to the players. So they're dangerous. They keep collecting money, and as the minister explained, the punishments are not deterrent enough. You get one person, the maximum fine they give him is 48 currency points. That's about 960,000.
Yeah, you go to the next one so that we move faster.
Then gaming dispute resolution.
For us.
We've resolved. This half year we resolved 53 out of the 68 complaints that we received, which is 77.9% performance. Most of these are for non-payment of winnings. The players come complaining that we won and they were not paid. On page 22, there are other responsible gaming measures that we've undertaken: awareness and sensitization, strengthened regulatory requirements, including age verification, self-exclusion. We have engaged with mental health providers and tertiary institutions. We established a fully functional call center where we get calls from people saying, or their families saying, we have a problem with a family member who has a problem of addiction. Then we can see how we help them.
Can we go to 2026, 27? What you plan for this year?
Okay.
You just open, you'll see the heading. You okay. Just go to, you can use this other one. Go to the strategic, use this document.
Chair.
Strategic activities for 2026-27. Go to page 4.
Chair, proposed allocations on page 31 of that document. Under which our allocation has increased from 5.1 billion to 8.8 billion because we intend to recruit more staff for these regional offices, as I had hinted. Under non-wage, our allocation has increased from 11.2 billion to 15.4 billion to enable quick response and execution of the regulatory mandate. And then under Government of Uganda Development, our allocation has increased from 1 billion to 2.6 billion. We intend to procure some vehicles, including a truck to collect
machines,
those small illegal machines.
They're beginning with a truck.
We are beginning with one, and then some pickups. Honorable Chair, that is, in brief, that is all for 26-27.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I wish to conclude by formally presenting the Ministerial Policy Statement for Vote 123, Uganda National Gaming Regulatory Board for financial year 2026-2027. I take today.
Thank you. Now I would like be about 3 members to say Honorable Pair, Honorable Mudimi, and Honorable Kugonza.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, the Honorable Minister, for the job well done. I see that this gaming and lottery thing seems to be our cash cow. However, I'm a bit concerned and wanted to hear from you on page 28 of this presentation. I'm looking at the revenue, and I'm wondering what are the drivers of this very big jump on our revenue mobilization. Yes, I know about the system and all that, but I'm not hearing so much about I think somebody, in the presentation, the minister talked about some policies or laws that you want to do to protect these gamers. I'm personally not so much a fan of this because I've seen how detrimental they can be, particularly to the young people. So what are the factors where do you think these monies are? Is it for the rich, as somebody said? Is it the rich who are playing, or it is the poor who are actually losing all their money into this gaming thing? And what is the board really going to do about it, besides just the protection of players and all that? What are those specific things that we can really be comfortable with, that much as we are promoting you to get for us more money as government, we are also cognizant that they are very, very detrimental to our young people or the players?
Honorable Mudimi.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, on licensing and enforcement. You know, when the law was passed, it gave areas where activities of gaming should take place, big centers. But when you go deep in, I come from Bulamburi, deep in the mountains there, that's where the activities are taking place. Deep. And Mr. Chairman and the members, to be specific, on the 8th December last year, I was in a rally up there, and some boys had moved with, they had gone also, they found in a center where there was gambling. They went into it. When they lost money, they started beating the operator. The guy nearly died. What saved him, we came and they just fell into my legs. That's how we survived.
Mr. Chairman,
and to get a person...
Honorable Mudimi should also tell us that because of these reasons he is advancing, he was opposed to this law being in place.
No, I do not oppose, but whatever little we've given you, you failed to manage. And I saved that young man, and the guy was from Kabar, and could be your relative. From Kabar, deep in the mountains. I also got scared. The boy was beaten badly because those boys had lost their money. So we want to see licensing and enforcement. Why? Actually, we need those regional offices. Like, if you put a regional office in Mbara, I've seen you say you need like 7 people. Seven staff. And you see, Mbare, that area is mountainous. Now, if they call,
they should put it in Bulamburi.
If they call, and you see in Bulamburi, because there are many activities, there's a bit of coffee,
and then the border
farming. Some people from your place also come. They normally, Israelites also normally lose money in my place. They come from Nakapiripiri to do gambling in Bulamburi.
You end up.
So we need that enforcement as much as it is a cash cow. Otherwise, even a generation really. Some parents are crying that they are losing school fees. Once they give you want to go and pay, they go into gambling.
Advise them to use school pay direct.
Yeah.
instead of
So,
giving to their children.
Really, we need this enforcement and the licensing.
Yes, Honorable Kugonza, let's be a bit faster.
Yeah, thank you
And
very
after
much,
that,
Chair.
Commissioner.
I want to join my colleagues in thanking the Minister and his team, the National Lotteries and the Gaming Regulatory Board, for a comprehensive presentation, but also for a job well done as per the mandate given to them by Parliament. Because this authority was, even when we talk about whatever it is a government policy, we adapted it. Of course, the people talking about it cautiously, I want to join them. Now, the issue of addiction should not actually be taken lightly. And yes, we are a poor country, a developing country, and we need the money, but we seem to be between a hard place and a rock. And that's why we need to invest so much in awareness, because we need to continue sensitizing the public about the dangers. But when you look at the report of the board, for example, like your outreach to secondary schools, you only in a year you actually reached out 26 secondary schools with a huge population of secondary schools in the country. How I wish you can be able to do more from the preventive side, so that people at an early age can understand the dangers of gaming. For those people that, for some of you and some of us who might be following the global developments, yesterday there was a landmark case in Los Angeles, and where Meta and actually Google lost a case of social media addiction, and it's changing issues. And at some point, we might actually be taken to court as a government by parents that are concerned if we don't regulate stringently the sector. So much as we are making positive development in terms of revenue generation, but we need to be concerned about the social aspects that really underpin all this, that particularly from the negative side, that we need to address. I thank you, Chair.
Okay, thanks. Honorable Silwanyi.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Minister for the presentation and the Gaming Board. I have an issue. I have a matter to raise on page, when you look at page 21 of the presentation by the Acting Director. The purchase of the gaming machines. I come from a village called Makoma in Bujiri district. But we find most of these people, young people in the rural areas, they come to Kampala and buy these machines. Then they take them to the villages for gambling. I want to know, why do they first of all buy them? How do they access them? Because this is government. You must control the sector even at a level of purchasing the machines. Because you are now having confiscated 1,459 illegal machines. Why wait for these people to go and buy the machines, take them illegally, start using them in the villages, then you go and confiscate? Why don't you arrest the situation? Because URA is there. The good thing, the Minister of Finance is here. These people pay taxes. The ones who sell these machines, they bring them to the country, they pay taxes. Why do you allow the machines that you are very much aware that they cannot do the right work and they have errors? Why do you allow the machines to enter the country? And then later you run and you want the committee to support you to ensure enforcement. And that means more money. I'm seeing you talking about pickups, you're talking about enforcement. Why don't you prevent? Because it would be far much cheaper to prevent than for you to go and start capturing machines, following up on individuals. I think I want an answer in that area. Yes. Otherwise, you have performed tremendously well. I remember the minister was the chair of Finance Committee, and he was really one of the people who was pushing for this law to come to effect. And I think I thank you for doing that. That time, thank you. Though now
thank
you have changed.
Thank you, Commissioner.
But I thank you that time.
You, Commissioner. Honorable Pumari, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chair, I also want to join colleagues to thank the Minister and the entity. Actually, I'm surprised to see that it raises this huge amount of money in government, but I have two issues that I want to emphasize. One is about the staffing. I am seeing you are appealing for recruitment of 7 people at regional level. I'm wondering whether 7 can handle a region. But also I want to emphasize on the issue of sensitization about the dangers so that our people get to know. Whoever decides to go for gaming knows the repercussions. But lastly, Mr. Chairman, I want clarity from the ED on page 9, where he was talking about the development budget, which was not absorbed because they received the little money, and they choose not to spend that money because they were waiting for other monies to come. Didn't they have anything that they should use this money on in that line of development? Is it a must that they needed to first wait for all the money to come so that they spend?
Yeah, I think because of time, I'd request that most of these issues that have been raised, you go and make a write-up. And actually would implore you to have an interaction with the committee as soon as possible, so that they get a clear understanding of this institution. Maybe Honorable Minister, if you want to make any quick one. So with that, I would definitely request that the team from National Gaming and Lotteries Board can take leave from this meeting, and we invite the next institution. Thank you. I've requested you to take leave. We have another institution coming.
Chair.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Chair.
Honorable Ochoa.
Are we part of you or?
Honorable Ochoa, I can hear you, but I also want to tell you that we had agreed that we must end this meeting by 1 because we have to go and participate in it. I know you came very late.
No, I came late because of other. There is an issue I wanted to raise to the minister. I go to his office. He was a chair when we formulated this law, and there is something pertinent I wanted to raise, but it's well. Now that the minister.
We are waiting for Uganda Investment Authority